All right, hello, welcome back to Driving in Korea. My name is Joe. This is my regular blog, about living, traveling, and eating in Korea while I commute. Please, if you can, please subscribe as soon as you can, and like this video if you like it. We'll see if you like it. Trying to think of what today's topics would be. Just sum up since my last video. Thank you everyone who has subscribed. Thank you. It's been nice. It's great. I've had this YouTube channel for, oh my goodness, over 10 years, and I haven't really used it, and so it's great. This weekend we did a barbecue tour on Friday for guests. First professional hockey player I ever met. I think he played for North Carolina, NHL. They were fun. In fact, the tour ended fairly earlier than usual, and they wanted to go to Hongdae, our club district, one of our club districts. And so I took them down there just to show them where it was. And since I was in Hongdae, I thought, I'm going to go visit Tom's Pizza. Congratulate Tom on the birth of his daughter. And he was there. I congratulated him. Had some pizza. They recently changed their taps, and they now have playgrounds. It's not Hopcat. No, it's something else. It's a very hoppy IPA they have. It's delicious. I love Playgrounds beers, and they're my bane, because I just shouldn't be drinking all that much. Tummy. Let's see. And then on Saturday was kind of like a pretty large dark side tour. We had 12 booked, and it was a giant reunion. Everything was a reunion. For one thing, one of my old friends from high school and her family joined us, Maggie. The Wild family from Wednesday joined us, and the barbecue crew from Houston that I had on that Monday, the Monday's tour, and they'd gone to Busan, and they came back, and they actually went for the dark side tour with the chicken and beer pre-tour option, which is something new I added for fun, and that was fun. And then two more signed up. One of them she'd actually taken the tour a year ago, Bailey. So it was just a giant reunion. Almost everyone there I already knew. It was great, and it was a fun tour. What I liked about it, a group that large. Now the group that large is going to slow down, so it will be a 3-hour tour instead of 2.5, like I try to make it. Especially with all the bathroom breaks, because people drink on the tour. What I liked is everyone mingled. They made new friends. We had 3 kids on the tour. I mean, ages between 8 and 13, or 9 and 13. They got along very well, and that was a really fun night. We had the tour took a bit long, but they worked. They did it. They were good troopers, and I hope they liked it. I think they said they liked it. And then because of that, I've just been so busy. I just closed down Sunday's tour just to give myself a day off. And that day I started working on some stuff and did a little cooking and shopping. Starting a new project. This is the whole reason one of the main reasons I've been setting up a studio in my office is I'm part of some Facebook groups for walking tour owners, food tour owners, and walking tour owners, and I went there to try to get information from them, and I have gotten good information from them. But it turns out they keep asking me for advice on marketing their tours and how I do my tours. Because we've done pretty well. We've grown by at least 20% each year. That compounds. This year we've done very well. We've been breaking records every month almost. And we started with almost nothing. It's just a little bit of money out of my pocket that I paid for a web host. And it took a little bit of setting up, a little bit of know-how. It helps that I have a background in IT. And we just started small. We started small and cautiously and slowly built up. And we started in 2012. And we're doing pretty well now. It's just a few of us. We're kind of like, people ask how many people are on your team, and I'm like, well, we're more like the Avengers. We're kind of individuals, and then we come together whenever there's a project. Dark Side Tour, Sean and I do the Dark Side Tour. He does it during the weekdays. I do it on the weekends. Barbecue tour, I mostly do the barbecue tour these days, but Simon Lee, he's an amazing guy. He was my sous chef at the barbecue pub, and and on my pop-ups, and he was an interpreter when Anthony Bourdain was in town. Guy's a cook. He's an airplane pilot. He does so many things. He sometimes does the barbecue tour. Then Jasmine does a Gangnam tour, and John Park, my former manager and bartender, my other restaurants, he does Drink Seoul, which is kind of a history of alcohol in Korea. It's our most premium tour. I have a booking tonight. We'll see. Jasmine and John's tours don't get booked that much. I wish they would. They're really good tours. But yeah, we're a small group. And we've done pretty well. Last October, our peak season, for the first time, we broke $10,000 in 1 month. Not bad. Not bad. So, by request, these people were, these other tour owners were requesting, and on top of that, I've been getting requests from people in Korea and such, asking me how I started my tours. So I thought, okay, I'll put together a whole, I'll start a new project, showing people how to create, how we did it. We created our tours and how we market our tours. And I'm always learning. I'm always educating myself. I'm always taking courses. I'm Google Ads certified. So I can teach how to do SEO, how to do really smart ways of working Google Ads, so you're not wasting all your money. How to, I wouldn't say hack TripAdvisor. It's impossible to hack TripAdvisor. It used to not be possible, and some other local tour companies used to do that to our disadvantage, but now the algorithms changed and it's helped us because we've stayed ethical the whole time. And also just the basics of how you put together a tour, how do you run a tour. There are lots of things I want to show and share how we do it. Not only just based on what the other tour owners and people who want to start their own tours do, but from my talks with guests on my tours about their experiences with other agencies, and there's some things that really irk me that they do, and just some common sense things they do that really irk guests on their tours. For one thing, if you're doing a food tour, eat with your guests. It makes them really uncomfortable if they're eating while you're just standing there watching them, or you go back to the van hungry. Eat with your guests. Share with them, because they also want to know more about the food. They want to know more about the manners in that country, the etiquette. Don't overdo it, because then I've seen the other problem is sometimes people get too indulgent and they get really drunk on their tours. You gotta watch it. Last night had a one-on-one tour for barbecue. Even though I usually just break even on those tours, I still do it just for fun. And it's one of the reasons I started the food tours anyways. Is single travelers, especially in Seoul, have a hard time eating because some places, barbecue places, won't accept single diners. And navigating how to order like a barbecue place, if you've never done it before, and then you get it and then you don't know what you're supposed to do with all the stuff at your table. It's kind of like getting, it's like buying a bed from IKEA and they just give you the box of wood and you have to figure out how to assemble it. In fact, I saw one table. It's rare. It's really rare. The place we go to for the barbecue tour, it's rare you see foreigners there. And I saw 2 tables of foreigners last night. And and the table next to us, they were speaking English as well. And I saw them. They looked very lost. And I felt bad. I kind of wanted to jump in and rescue them. I hope they enjoyed it, though. So last night, I did have a one-on-one tour. A young man named Justin from the U.S. He was an expat living in Paris. This is something I shouldn't do, but I do it because I'm according to my EQ, I have a very high my EQ test. I have a very high EQ. The only thing holding me back is I'm impulsive. And I get impulsive when I have one-on-one tours, because when I'm doing the same thing all the time, and my tours are designed that I don't really get tired of the places, but there are times when my cholesterol is just flying up and I just need to change. When I have a one-on-one tour, I'll change things up a bit sometimes if they agree to it. And so we went to the barbecue place, and then I was going to take them to our usual our pancake market and do the crash course in Korean alcohol. But this was at the tail end of his trip, so he'd already had the pancakes, he'd already had Makgeolli, so I wasn't really going to show him anything he hadn't tried before. And I actually suggested we get on the train and go one stop over to Hongdae. And there's a traditional craft Makgeolli, craft soju restaurant, pub there called San Ulim. San Ulim Chonkubekushibi, 1992. I knew right off, bad idea for me if I want to make any profit on this tour. But as my wife says, I'm a horrible businessman. I did it kind of well, for one thing, he was cool. He was really cool. So I really wanted to show him something really memorable. And I just wanted to go there. I was craving something really nice. And so we went to San Ulim. There's a line, there was a wait there, which is a great sign. I love that because I get worried. Because the really, really good soju and Makgeolli, Korea has thousands of years history making alcohol. There are Chinese records from 3,000 years ago talking about how the people on this peninsula were the best at making alcohol. But It's frustrating though. It's frustrating. Okay, so we got into San Ulim last night after the wait. I'm like, oh great sign. It's mostly young people waiting in line to get in there. Then they get in. What do they order? Frickin' chamisul. They are the cheap green bottle stuff. They're drinking the cheap aspartame makgeolli, and of course I don't blame the bar for stocking it, because you gotta, you know, even the finest craft beer place is going to stock a Budweiser. Just you always got that person. But people are, well, for one thing, people are scared to take the risk of, and you see the craft makgeollis and the craft sojus really are higher priced. I mean, makgeolli in a bar tends to go for around 5,000 won, around between 4 and 5 USD. The makgeolli we bought last night was 30,000 won, but it's a good one, and it there's a little bit more makgeolli in it than normal. But the makgeollis tend to go for around $20 there at least. They're good quality stuff. What I love to get is called Iwa Baekju, which is a category of craft makgeolli that's called champagne makgeolli. And the reason is it's extremely carbonated. So carbonated that it takes a good 3 minutes to open it, or it'll just spew everywhere. And also it has a sort of a minerally finish, and it's a little funky. I love it. It's a good funky makgeolli. It has almost a citrus yogurt finish. Lovely stuff. Well, 6% alcohol, and we were happy with just that. But San Ulim was doing a special anniversary party, so they had a whole page of specially discounted Sools. I wanted the Punjang Sage makgeolli, but I got this, what's the name? I want to say Sam Chunchun. That's not it. It's Sam. You always know it because it has 3. It has like 1, 2, 3. And they're mostly known for their distilled sojus and chongjus. They had a takju. They had a takju available. So the takju we got, let's say the makgeolli we got, the Iwa Baekju was 6%. The takju was over 14%. So over twice as strong. It was not carbonated, and it had a much different flavor, but still smooth drink. And that got us, because we got to that part where we're like, should we get another bottle? And we knew if we got another bottle, we'd go over the edge. So wisely, we just started drinking water. Now, also, the food at San Ulim is what brings it over the top. The atmosphere is great, too. The atmosphere is, any place that looks like an old country inn is going to be good. The atmosphere is great, but their food is, I'm going to use the F word, fusion. I hate fusion. Fusion is, the word fusion should automatically set off alarms in your head. Usually in Korea, fusion means some lazy interpretation of foreign cuisines with little squigglies of honey mustard on it. In this case, though, what they did was they took traditional Korean pub anju, drinking food, and there was a guy that was trained in France, brought him in to kind of fancify it, and all the recipes there are just beautifully upgraded. I mean, the signature that I love blowing everyone's mind with is these little cups, and they're little squares of chapsaldok, which is fresh rice cake, or mochi, but there are different types of duck. There's a gummy, chewy kind, which is I'm not a big fan of, but then there's this really fresh, like marshmallow texture, chapsaldok. They put that and they fill the ramekin with gorgonzola cheese. And then they torch it. And then they top it off with a little dollop of myeongnan, which is fermented Polak roe. Give it a little saltiness and a little more funkiness. Those little cups are so addictive. You just never get tired of those cups. And also what we get the basic anju set, which is 3 things. It's that plus this nice little salad with it's funny, it's because it's like fruit and tomatoes and pickled celery. It's just fun. It's just all stringent. It kind of acts as your kimchi to kind of balance all the other foods. And the other one is the classic. It's dongchip, poop house, chicken gizzards, and it's a callback to old soju tents. I remember back in the day, back when we actually had soju tents before the government thought it was, it made us look poor, so they hired gangsters to toss over all the soju tents. So we don't really have them anymore, except near Jongno in Ojiro. One of the great dishes was dongchip, these chicken gizzards. And they're so simply seasoned, but they're heavily seasoned. They're cooked in onions and chilies and a giant handful of black pepper and sesame oil. And they're just so peppery. But if you're not used to the texture of chicken gizzards, that's off-putting. The flavor's so good. The hardest part is getting used to that crunchy gizzard texture. Well, what they do here is they've actually softened the gizzards, so they're actually quite tender. But it has the exact same flavor as a soju tent. So I love taking anyone there. I usually get a makgeolli and a soju, but this time I just didn't want to get the soju. I had a feeling we'd go over the limit. I credit Julia Mellor for opening my eyes to this, because I was kind of the cheap makgeolli type of guy. And then she took me on a big giant crash course at Sanulum and opened my eyes, and I haven't been able to go back. It's sad, and that's why I've been kind of trying to steer my tours to Sanulum or another high-end. Well, not really. I don't like to say high-end because it makes it sound hoity-toity. Like more of a craft Sool place, traditional Sool place, where they do it really well. You get the good bottles, and seriously, I mean, you're not really paying much more than you would for a bottle of wine. You're actually paying less than you would for a bottle of wine for some really good stuff. It's less than you would pay for craft beer, considering each bottle you share. Way less than you pay for a whiskey in Seoul. And there are some things that will really transport you. Anyway, the weather here is finally we're starting to get a little bit of rain, but it's barely there. It's barely there. I want real rain. I want real rain. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit sleepy today. Not sleepy, but foggy headed. I mean, a little bit. It wasn't the liquor. The liquor actually woke up I was expecting a hangover, but see, the good quality stuff, you don't wake up with a hangover. And we made sure to drink water. We balanced everything out. Even though Mr. No Impulse Control, when I got home last night, I made myself a kebab. I actually went and cooked. It was like 12:30 at night, and I was cooking, and I made myself a kebab. Before I went to bed. Oops. This morning was gym day. I know it's boring hearing someone talk about that. Hey, I went to gym. My buddy Garrett, my former neighbor, well, he still is my neighbor. It's just I no longer live in that apartment complex but it's across the street from us. My old place. We hit my old gym, the gym at our old complex, and we've been working on weight training since May, doing deadlifts and cleans and everything. I learned a lot about form when I did CrossFit a few years ago for a magazine article, and that was fun. And the trainer, John, and he was the one writing the article, taught me he trained me a lot on the form of how to do that. And I was really surprised because I never was athletic. I never, lifting weights, I try and I could never, it was not for me. But when he showed me how to do that, I couldn't believe it was me doing it. It was like when years ago, because I'm not very coordinated, when I got a job at Chili's as a bartender, and they taught me how to do all the flipping the bottles like they do in cocktail. I was really surprised that I could learn how to juggle bottles and stuff. Yeah, that's one talent I have, is I can flip liquor bottles. Woo! Not really useful talent, but now I want to. Ever since then, I just want to twirl everything. So Garrett and I, now he's had much of a head start on me, and it's been great because we both are middle-aged and we're pudgy, but he's been beefing out. He's got beefy arms. He's losing weight. He's got pecs. He's got nice boobies. I like staring at his boobies when he's working out, man. It's good. So what we do is we get together twice a week, maybe 3 times a week in the morning when it's not that crowded, and we weight train. And mostly we're working on form before we're trying to get a pile on the weights. We got books, we watch videos. I think his name is Thrall. I like him. And so today was gym day, and I'm always sleepy after the gym. And today we were just doing deadlifts. Working on our form. But, yeah, he can lift way more than I can right now. And it's not a competition. I don't really... I like that. That's why I don't like telling people that I'm going to the gym, because you always get these guys who go, how much can you bench, man? Like, so what? I mean, what is this, a competition? It's not a competition. It's not like, people got to measure their penises or something all the time. I'm just competing with myself. I'm trying to improve myself. I'm trying to get my heart rate up. I'm doing it for health. I'm not doing it for looks. I'm not doing it to impress other people. I mean, I'm doing it. I'd love to impress my wife. I always love trying to impress her. She's hard to impress. And it's something she's always wanted me to do. So, we've been working on it. And this is the longest... Oh, God, this is so sad. This is the longest I've stuck to an exercise program ever. What, 3 months? 2 months? Since May. So what is that? What is it, 2 months? Yeah. It's just been 2 months. No, I take that back. I've been consistent with running at times. But definitely not with weights. Mostly because it's hard to get me to get out. It's hard to get out. Motivate. Now Garrett is able to motivate me to get out, meet up, and I really just look forward just to talking to him, getting news all the time. He owns a hagwon in Pumut near me in Gimpo, and he's doing fairly well. But he works hard, and we all work hard, and we gotta take care of ourselves. All right, I'm getting close to my destination, And I say that I'm boring you talking about working out. So thank you so much for listening, for watching. Please remember, please like. If you liked it, please subscribe, share it. I'll talk about my other project whenever I can later. Until then, 안녕히 계세요.